A woman mentored by an elder at the Potter's house in the late 90s is speaking out. She claims that there are scandals of epic proportions that's about to rock the church. Listen.
And I will tell you all that I'm not worried about being sued. Anything I share here, I'm not worried about being sued. Yeah, there are people talking who are just sharing rumors, but not all of us are sharing rumors, okay? Two sons. They are not the biological children of Thomas, okay? Before, Sarita was a teen mom, okay? She had both of the boys when she was a young woman. And sometime later, I don't know if it was years, I don't know the time frame of between her having and her meeting Thomas. That part of their story, I don't know. But one of the great things that made her fall in love with Thomas was that he accepted her two boys. And yes, he did later adopt them. So he's the man that raised them. At their home, there was a time when the Jakes lived near what is not White Rock Lake in Dallas. Okay, they had a home. They used to have a home over there. And she told me her friend was part of this group of people that had gone to the house. But I don't know how many sessions they had, but this was a time, as I said earlier, where people kind of saw homosexuality differently, especially in the church. And so they believed that it was an evil spirit and it could be cast out. And so she was telling me that the friend had said that they had had a few sessions at the Jakes' home where they were trying to cast the devil out of these two boys. And I remember, I'll never forget, she said to me, she said, and they said every time they would get to a point where they thought they were going to cast him out, Jakes would leave the room. Why? I don't know. What he was leaving the room for, I don't know. So yeah. Let's see, what else do I want to share before I let you guys go on this part two? Kora, yes. You remember last year when all the stuff was going on with Michelle Loud and the allegation of Kora taking her baby and so on and so forth. Remember, and this did break my heart, but I couldn't say anything because I didn't feel free to tell it. But, so much is about to come out. A lot of people were making fun of Kora and they were like, what's wrong with Kora? Is she special or something? And that really hurt me because what people don't know is Kora does have a learning disability. Now, which one it is, I don't know. That part I can't tell you. But how I know this is because my mentor, as I said earlier in part one, she was very well connected in the community. She was a former educator. And Sarita had commissioned Mrs. K to find a tutor for Kora. So Mrs. K, who, as I said earlier in part one, she was very well connected in the community. She was a former educator. And Sarita had commissioned Mrs. K to find a tutor for Kora. So Mrs. K, who, as I said earlier in part one, she was very well connected in the community. She was a former educator. And Sarita had commissioned Mrs. K to find a tutor for Kora. My mentor was her advisor as well, called my mentor. And she was saying, we need to get a tutor for Kora. Do you know anybody? Because, like I said, she was a former educator. And she did. She was able to connect them with a tutor for Kora. So now I'm not saying Kora's special needs. I don't know anything about that. But what I will say is that, yes, she has a learning disability. And so very often people are making fun of folks and they don't know what people have going on or things like that. And I feel like that's very cruel. And it's unnecessary. I don't feel like any of us who are commenting on these things have to make fun of people and do those things. I don't think we have to take it that far. But you know what? To each his own. When all this stuff comes out over the next days and weeks about Thomas, TD Jakes, which stands for Thomas Dexter, for those who may not know, I want all of you to understand that Sarita was a part of the cover-up. So very often when things come out about these husbands, the wives, the wives get to play innocent. People assume they're innocent, kind of like the Vanessa Long, Eddie Long situation. People assume they're innocent. The wife kind of skates off and people look at her like, aw, but that's never the case. It's never the case. One of the things I have to say that I respect about Melinda Gates, and I don't know her from Adam or Eve, but when rumors came out that her husband, Bill Gates, the billionaire, had connections to Jeffrey Epstein, what did she do? She immediately divorced him. Not to say that they had the best marriage anyway, because when your husband is going on vacations with his ex-girlfriend, well, we already know what that's about. But she had a line, is my point. She had a line that you can't cross this line. I'm saying that to say when women like Sarita go along, participate in, when I say participating, I don't mean necessarily the act, I just mean go along with the cover up and pretending that it's not what it is.
To listen to her full statements, you can find her at MVMO channel on YouTube. Now, I found her statements to be very compelling, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That is why I would love to hear yours. So please leave them in the comment section, and thanks for watching.